So, Happy New Year. It's nice to see everyone. I'm told I'm not great with small talk. So, we're just going to get started and begin to prepare. I do like to remind everyone, to the extent that you're able to, spend some time on the Prison Professors website. You're going to see so many things in development. And Art, former warden, Happy New Year. Nice to see you. You'd be so proud of what Michael's continuing to develop with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And over, as many of you know, over the last 6 months of 25, Michael visited more than 40 prisons. That's him with Andre Matavusian, the regional director, and just traveled the country teaching people in prison, implementing our program. The response has been phenomenal. Our team is thankful that towards the end of December, more than $1 million in donations came into the nonprofit. And of course, we document all of these donations, including a donation that my wife and I made. So we're so grateful for everyone in our community, for your time, for helping us develop our programs that helps uh, so many people. You'll see more than 5,000 profiles have currently been created. So more than 5,000 people documenting their journey from prison for free. They don't pay for it. We helped fund it. Donors help fund it. Not a penny of any dollar raised pays Michael. No prisoner pays for it. So anyone that needs a book or a program, and including the travel and maintaining this site, we're able to cover for people in prison. More than 8 million words on the site. And I'm hopeful by the end of this year, it will be more than 10,000 profiles, 20 million words. But this is a very exciting development given the nonprofit's reach. Michael also recently joined a new, still on the homepage of the BOP, I think. That's Michael right there. He joined the first ever national resource team. That's Michael Santos next to Deputy Director Josh Smith. And you're continuing to see, I think, good leadership from this agency around reform, earning freedom, and incentivizing people to use their time in custody productively. It's not great, but it's certainly getting better. Michael's providing an update on the new website every day. Our motto is we're never going to ask you to do what we don't do and document, meaning create assets and build. And you'll see Michael does that every single day, providing an update on the changing website and the development and just the expense and time that comes with managing more than 5,000 profiles. But you'll see how dynamic and fast the site is. I also encourage anyone going to prison to look at the list of active facilities. And that's really relevant because you can presume if you're going to prison and someone's writing on their profile that they're probably predisposed to avoid disciplinary infractions and iPhones and trouble, which tells me they're adjusting well. It's difficult to build a new record from prison in what can be a hopeless environment. So the website makes it very easy to identify what facilities are we currently, do we have profiles, and you're seeing it growing, every single week, every single month. And if you're going to example to Leavenworth, you can go there and see who's writing there. Otisville, the camp, is anyone writing there? Yeah, in the low and in the camp. What does this help you do? One, you could read their journal entries if they're producing what they're writing. You can learn more about life on the inside, what their experience has been like. You're going to learn a lot about the prison. And it's also someone you could potentially seek out and say, hey, man, I'm writing on the .org side as well, same as you. I think it's great. For example, Jason in our community recently surrendered to Lompoc a few weeks ago. Two people post his surrender were learning about Lompoc from his journal entries, what he was doing, the written rules and the unwritten rules. Well, when they got there, they found him. And guess what? He helped them because we're a community. I'd encourage you to spend a lot of time on the site. And if you have yet to create a profile, you should. Because a big part of what Michael Santos is advocating for is to use prison professors as a filter for the Bureau of Prisons, that a case manager can use to assess a candidacy for home confinement or more halfway house time. That's the whole message. Build a record that opens doors to liberty. And it's free. All you have to do is invest the time to create. So I'm so thankful that you're here and you're part of our community. And I'm really, 2026 is going to be a huge year for the nonprofit, a big year. It's really very exciting. Before I get into a few prepared remarks, are there any questions that I can answer? Any important issues with your case that we need to resolve?
Is
Okay.
it on? Yes. Yeah, I just had one thing I wanted to mention was that John is still not able to log into um, on his tablet through the Beaumont camp. And it shows us active. And it does show as active on the facility, on the prison professors, but there's
Yes.
no inmates.
So you're saying the tablet he's using in the prison is not working?
We don't have prison professors on it, no. And he's asked, he's inquired.
Oh, okay. So here's how that works. We want to understand the mechanics of it. The goal is at some point to have prison professors on all of these tablets so people can write directly
Right.
from there to their prison professor's profile. Right now, the mechanism is through core links. They write a journal entry, they send it to you or someone or Roman on our team, and that journal entry is then posted to their profile. So
Okay.
as of right now, he simply needs to use core links to send emails. The part of the nonprofit's goal is to change that. And for those people who say, I don't have access to email, I didn't. You can handwrite it, send it home. Someone who loves you can type it, send it to our team. Or better yet, you can manage their profile directly. And that's the way it's set up, Amy. So if you get the
Okay.
email, it's very easy to set it up and follow where you have a user ID and password and post.
Yeah.
It's not hard, but if you have questions, we can discuss it next week. But it's something you should be
Okay.
able to create and manage very easily. Just encourage him to keep writing. That's the beauty of it. I know we had a call a couple of weeks ago, Amy. That's the goal. Keep building, keep writing. Because, and this ties into what I wanted to discuss a little bit today. Before I do, is there anything else that's popped up? Anything else going on? Okay. In the new year, I kind of want to go back to, I don't know if oldie but goodie is the right way to say it, but I want to talk about something that is applicable to everyone in the journey. And it's really the basis of our work. We talk a lot about, and this is a webinar we did last July, and it comes up in every webinar, and I wanted to go through it again in the new year, which I am recording. I'll put the replay up tomorrow. The earlier you can begin to influence whomever it is, the more likely we believe you will be to succeed. I attended a number of sentencing hearings through October and November and December, primarily here in Santa Ana and Los Angeles. And I'm still taken aback by the directness of so many sentencing judges. I heard Judge Blumenfeld, I heard Judge Carter, I heard Judge Selna. Many of them are complimentary, but many of them are pretty direct and can chastise the defendant for how poorly they have prepared and the disconnect. When I say disconnect, can someone tell me what that means? When Judge Blumenfeld told a defendant there's a disconnect between what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. Can someone chime in and tell me? It would be helpful. If not, I know the answer, but I think it makes it easier to engage as a community. What does he mean? What did Judge Blumenfeld mean when he said that? Well, I won't even pull him up. So
Walk the
here's,
walk, talk the talk, walk the walk.
yeah, so what happens is you have some defendants that make eloquent sentencing statements, but there's very little evidence to back it up. So it sounds good, there's no record. And that's just a huge weakness. And he said, I just don't think you're genuine. That's a problem. And that can tend to lead to a longer sentence. And it could also lead to more time in custody because there's no record that could even justify why you're a candidate to get out earlier. So the earlier you can begin to create this record, and .org gives you a really good opportunity to do it. It's free. We pay for it through White Collar Advice and others. It just requires work with the right message. The earlier you can think about people who are going to play a role and how much liberty you have, we think the better prepared you're going to be. Which is why I think a good exercise for this first call of the year. And if there's no follow-up, or if you don't do anything following these calls, we're just wasting 45 minutes and we're all busy. I have a lot to do. So if you're willing to do the work, I'd encourage you to go through a little assignment. Who are the stakeholders in your case? Who are we trying to influence? So can someone perhaps tell me where they are in the journey? And then we can identify who the next person to influence could be. Anyone here willing to chime in?
I I pled guilty a year ago, and I'm going to be sentenced. I've got probably looking at sentencing this summer, Justin. So I think my next stakeholders might be obviously. I need to get ready for my sentencing.
I'm in
Right.
the same boat as well.
So if sentencing, whenever it is, 6 months, a year away, at some point you're going to see a judge. And I got an email from someone in our community a little bit earlier. Scott, I read it, another Scott, where he kind of said like, "Hey, uh, my public defender, he ain't seen nothing like this before." Right? So that's kind of like something you need to embrace as well, that you may do this work and you have a stakeholder who might not fully know how to use it, which is why when I say who is the next stakeholder for you to influence, a lot of times it's the lawyer. Now, Nicholas is a good lawyer in New York. He's been on a lot of these webinars. He understands persuasion, influencing a probation officer, but a lot of lawyers won't do that. So before you can even think about influencing a judge or even a probation officer, you want to make sure your lawyer understands what it is you're striving to do. Because some people look at what we create and say, I've never done it before. That can make you an anomaly in a both good and bad way. A good way that you can stand out and be that purple cow we speak of, but also it can be, I just don't know how to use it. And if the lawyer doesn't invest the time to use it, you have an asset you can't use, like a Ferrari sitting in the garage. Who cares if you can't drive it? You want to show it off what you create. So the next step, if it's Scott Reef, 6 months, or Dr. Scott, we want to make sure that your lawyer knows how to build these assets into your memorandum, knows how to speak on your behalf properly. And some do it better than others, but the persuasion or influence doesn't stop at sentencing. The onus will really be on you post sentence. Lawyers aren't involved in that, generally speaking. It's all on you. So, what you can consider doing is just ask your lawyer, like, what do you know about what I did? Do you know why I did it? Do you know how I found the nonprofit? Well, you have to do that because judges can ask questions. Many of you know I filmed a live YouTube video, or I did a YouTube video right after the sentencing from the 10th floor in Santa Ana. And in the video, I mentioned Judge Holcomb commenting on the work that Matthew Boyer did with prison professors. He spoke about it. It wasn't just in passing. He talked about it. It influenced him. I think if he had a different judge, I think Matthew would have avoided prison. But Judge Holcomb's, he wanted prison time, primarily because it was a tax case. He didn't like that. I think Judge Carter, he gets probation. The point is, he got 2 years probation, not three. The probation report asked for like 27 months or 3 years. I don't know. He got a year and a day, and he's going to be home in 4 weeks. But his lawyer, Diane Bass, there she is, she opened up by talking about his involvement with the nonprofit. But it wasn't fake, it was real. I helped her. But here's kind of what she said. When Matthew Boyer was raided 2 years ago by the FBI with a wife and 5 children, he was scared and he wanted to learn about prison. And while he was learning about prison, he came across a nonprofit on the Bureau of Prisons website. There's Michael. This is all true. It's all real. It happened. He then reached out to Michael Santos at prisonprofessors.org and said, Is there anything I can do to contribute? My lawyer told me to call you after reading about you on the Bureau of Prisons website. She also told him to call me, and he did. All these things kind of happened simultaneously. And Michael Santos said, sure, let's create something that shows you're not a rich bookmaker that squanders money and a degenerate gambler, that you're different. Well, how long will that take? Maybe the rest of your damn life. But why don't we get started? That was in October of 23, and he did that for 2 years. And he got a really good outcome. And he'll be home from Lompoc in about 4 months on a year and a day sentence, which is very good. He had a lawyer that understood it. Not all lawyers do. So Scott Reef or Dr. Scott, I encourage you to do what I do for many people in our community. Film a video. Send him this video. Film a private video. Send them the transcript and ask them to watch it and have a call. Because Scott Reef, you've done good things. Dr. Scott, you've done so much documenting on this site. You've really worked hard, and it would be a shame if you didn't get the credit for it. And as I said earlier on our client call, it would be a shame if you got judged as a guy who didn't actually do the work, and you have. So if that public defender wants to have a call with me, Dr. Scott, I'm happy to hop on. But you need this built into the memo, and you need to be able to talk about it. Okay? And I found federal public defenders, most of them really willing to. What'd you say? He's retiring in a month or so. So it's kind of, let's just get it. Let's get it done correctly. Okay. So I'm happy to speak with them if they're
Can you hear me?
with me. Okay. So that's a good takeaway for all of you. Who's the person that you can influence next? Does your lawyer understand if you have a probation interview upcoming?
Don't have a lawyer.
Have you invested the time to prepare properly for the probation interview? And do you have an asset to influence that probation officer?
Oh, here's all the other people on here.
If you could, I'll mute you. That's okay. If you can mute yourself, Kathy, I just did. That's fine. Okay. So let's get back to some thoughts, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to contribute right now before I continue. Okay.
Justin, can I throw something in
Sure.
to Steve?
Sure.
Is that good?
Yes. Go ahead.
I started my assets before sentencing, even though I wasn't a client yet of you guys until after I had been in prison. But the judge said I needed to be not only punished, but needed to be sentenced for deterrence to others, which of course didn't do any good. But I had already started with my assets. However, when I got to prison, my case manager was aware of those assets and supported the shortened sentence. So it paid off, even though it didn't pay off immediately, it paid off eventually, for sure. Now my stakeholders, now that I'm on probation, who are my stakeholders now? The case manager who I had in the halfway house, who's going to support a shortened probation, of obviously my probation officer and my lawyer and the judge. So those are the people I have to think of now as I create the next set of assets.
That's exactly right. Thank you for sharing. And you touch on something that's important. The assets that are created may influence people differently at different stages. Okay. We talked earlier on our call. I asked Tony, who's new to our team, how long was your team meeting? And she said 73 seconds. Right. So some people presume, oh my God, I'm going to meet with my case manager. This is it. She's going to spend 90 minutes with me going word for word through my plan. That's just not rooted in reality. They're very busy. They have a lot of files. Success, as I see it, is you deliver the asset, your release plan, or you get your narrative to the probation officer. Ask the probation officer to put the narrative in the completed report. Ask your case manager to put your release plan in your central file. And that's consistent with what we learned from John Guston, who ran the halfway house of the BOP for a long time. Get it in your file so other stakeholders can see the asset and what you're building beyond that. Then you can update the plan. Part of the problem is some people get very frustrated when they create something and they don't get the immediate response. And then they default to, see, it doesn't help me. It's a waste of time. No one's going to read it. So they just quit. It may not help you that day. It might not help you for weeks, months, or years. I would probably do the work regardless, but it's easy to convince yourself it's not going to matter. Just don't do it. It's your life. Michael did this work through 26 years when there was no mechanism to advance his release date. There was no First Step Act. Nobody got clemency, pardons, commutations. Compassionate release existed. Nobody got it. These things exist now. I would try to qualify for them. Put yourself in the best position to succeed. You don't do that by asking. You do it by building. It just requires work. Tom, I see your hand up. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm kind of in a unique situation where I'm going to try to end up getting transferred to Canada on the prisoner treaty.
Yep.
So there's going to be a unique DOJ that looks at my file. So will they be able to see all this work that I've done? Is that what you're talking about by other people seeing it in that kind of a case?
Of course. We have a physician in our community trying to keep his medical license. He's got a hearing in front of the board. I mean, everything he did starting 2 years before sentencing is the whole reason he should keep his license. The record that he's built, the contributions he's made. Yeah, you need a record. So without question, you want to put these assets in front of people that shows why you're a candidate for whatever it is you want. There are people in our community who aren't even eligible to get earned time credits under the First Step Act. But did you know some wardens have discretion? They can give it to you. Someone in our community did the drug program at Cumberland camp. He only had a 21-month sentence, was told he wasn't even eligible. The drug coordinator gave him 88 days off his sentence for doing it. Pretty cool. What does everyone tell you? You have to have 2 years. I'll be with you in a moment, Kathy. I see you. Thank you. Okay. So, yes, I want you to think about people who are going to play a role in your case, getting the treaty to Canada, which would be wonderful for you. We've had some people in our community succeed in that endeavor to Europe, to Japan. Yeah, that would be very good for you. But it's easier if you put yourself in a position to succeed. Okay. Which is why you should have a profile on the .org. You should be writing every day and then teach your lawyer how to use it. Before I continue, Kathy, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Kathy. I can't do it for you. Well,
Oh, there it
Kathy's
is.
okay.
I got it. Okay. I am a mother of a son in prison. Am I in the right group?
I think if you want your son to engineer the best possible outcome, yes, I think you're in the right group.
Okay.
Without
He is
question.
not going to get out. I will not see him out before I die. I know that. So there's no legal anything getting him out. My issue is he's not well. He's got he was in the hospital for a week. I didn't even know it. Nobody would tell me anything. They wouldn't tell me where he was. Okay, I kind of get that. They wouldn't tell me what was going on. They would tell me nothing. I actually spoke to a young woman, lieutenant, at the Coleman prison, and I said to her, because I can be a little gruff at times because I'm frustrated and angry, I said to her nicely, "You guys are heartless." And you know what her response was? "Fuck," and hung up on me.
So
So
let me
that's what
jump.
I'm dealing with.
Let me jump in because my preference isn't to swear on a recorded webinar.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so let me just jump in because I think you spoke with someone on my team.
I did.
Right. So this is a good lesson this is applicable to everyone. And I'm so sorry to hear about your son. When I was in prison, it was very difficult for my mom. Thankfully, my sentence was very short.
Yeah.
You're not going to get what you want, as unfortunate it is to hear, by stating you're not going to insult someone and then insult
I
someone.
know.
That
I
doesn't
know.
imbue or inspire anyone to help you.
I'm
You're going to have to
trying.
you're going to have to take a differing approach.
I know.
And I think you know what that approach is, but in the
I do.
moment it's very easy to but I think people do that generally through all cases. Someone in our community got very upset at their case manager because someone with a similar length sentence was getting more halfway house time. And it was just a visceral response. Why is this guy getting more time? He didn't understand how that could backfire with the case manager and other men in the unit. terrible.
Okay, my
Couldn't-
my question to you is, and she was very unprofessional, and they will hear from me. I mean, you don't hang up on somebody and swear at them on the phone. But my question to you is there some legal way or form that I can get access to what is happening him with his health and when he's in the hospital and what's going on and is there surgery and can I be there and all of those things? He's going to
So,
try to fill out something for power of attorney for me, I think.
okay. So I'm not a lawyer, so regarding
Right.
legal things and that, there is a remedy process that he could follow in prison. We have a warden on here, Art. Maybe you can. Art was a warden with the Bureau of Prisons for a very long
Oh,
time. Art, we'd love
okay.
your feedback.
Okay, the best way of handling that is to get your son to sign a release. And he can
Release.
make it a release specific to his medical care. And he can send it to you for you to forward to the warden of Coleman and say that he gives you permission to have all access to his medical care, to what's going on with his case, et cetera, et cetera. Then it becomes a legal document under FOIA. And you then should be able to get the information from the team or actually from the institution.
Okay, so he's going to be filling out power of attorney. Will that be the release?
No, ma'am.
No.
Power of attorney is good, but he needs to sign a specific release to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which says that you have his permission to have all information regarding his medical care.
Is there a name for this release form?
It's called release of information.
Release of information. And he should be able to get that in Coleman, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he fills that out. He sends it to,
He sends it to you and then you send it to the institution.
okay, send to me. Great. That's very helpful. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're
Thank you,
most
Art.
welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Tex, did I see your hand raised? Be happy to help as best I can.
Yes, I posed a question to this chat. I don't know if you want to take a look. It's an oddity, right? So luckily I'm on the other side of things. Well, I'm on supervised release. I was about to send in paperwork to terminate supervised release, and then I ran across someone's paperwork that they moved from a status of supervised release to unsupervised release, yet they're still in the process. They didn't actually terminate it per se. Didn't know if that was normal or if that's what's to be expected if you send in a request for termination.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't understand the question. Did someone understand? Nicholas, did you hear the question that you're in a?
Yeah, he made a request to terminate supervised release early, which is more favored these days with some amendments to the sentencing guidelines and in the, I guess, standardization of national criteria for early termination. But they didn't terminate. They just put him on unsupervised release, which I guess is non-reporting, the lowest level, level 3. So he non-monitored, I guess is what it is. So it's not the same as having your supervised release terminated, which can only be done by the judge. So that's what I understand it to be.
Okay, that's
Sense?
correct.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
how much longer do you have on supervised release?
A year and change.
So,
So.
if you could write to the judge, explain all the reasons, and there are criteria now for terminating early. If your restitution is paid in full, if you're living a law-abiding life, no violations, they should be doing it. But it all depends. And you should cite reasons why you want it terminated. For example, travel, restraint on travel, return of passport, business obligations, etc.
Okay, and then I guess another piece is with this, if by chance they did choose to terminate, and whenever it does terminate, does that terminate the restrictions on say I had Bitcoin related things, so I just don't even mess with anything crypto or finance at all. I don't even invest or anything.
It does. It does.
Yeah. Once you're done with probation, you're done with probation, though. If do you owe any restitution?
Yes.
then what will happen is, I've shared this letter previously, maybe on the replay, I'll put it up. When you're done with supervised release, if you owe money, you're going to get a letter that says something akin to, you are done with supervised release, though you have a continuing obligation to the US government, continue to send payments in
Keep
accordance with what you were
making the
paying for.
payments. Keep making the payments.
Yeah,
We
if you don't send
stress
that, we get 100 calls a year from people who are like, hey, I stopped making payments. I got a letter from the US attorney or the financial litigation unit or flu, and they want all the financials. It's like an audit. It's
Yeah.
worse than the financials they want even for the PSR. So don't ever stop making a payment. Even if
Correct.
you continue to make payments, you're going to get letters from flu asking for money and updated financials.
And just to clarify, I'm clear on the restitution side of it. I'll definitely keep on making payments, but I guess the real question is, would I be able to start doing finance related type activities again
Yes,
without?
you're a law-abiding citizen. You're done with supervision. There may be restrictions based on your conviction. When I was done with supervision, I was able to do whatever I wanted, but I couldn't be a stockbroker anymore. I lost my license. So there's
Mhm.
restrictions that might come from various industries, but you're allowed to be an executive. Now, you need to be very careful if you go into any fundraising or business or memorandums. You want to be transparent about your conviction, your crime, if you owe money. So you want to be very, disclosure is the key. Transparency is the key in whatever it is you choose to do. But you're done with supervision of the government. You're a law-abiding citizen. You can
Mhm.
live your life.
whatever your judgment issued at the time of sentencing says you can't do, that's what you can do now. So that's
Correct.
all.
Okay. So,
That's
okay.
basically it.
So, okay. I just want to make sure. So whenever I submit the paperwork, I'm gonna have to. I would to explicitly put it in there saying that I wanted them to lift the restriction as well. Didn't want to get caught in that weird space that I guess my friend is as well, as far as the
If
supervised versus
there's, even if you're
unsupervised.
on unsupervised supervision, if there are restrictions, they still apply unless they tell you they no longer apply. I wouldn't surmise or presume anything is no longer there.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay. You're
That's
welcome.
very helpful.
Good. Okay. So are there any other, Ashley, Happy New Year. I can't see you, but if you'd like to unmute yourself.
I think I'm unmuted.
You
I
are.
have two questions. First question is, how do we make sure that in the sentencing memorandum, it includes my husband's narrative?
You have to get a draft of the memorandum before it's turned in.
So, because we're on the 27th of January going in, so you had said before, like usually like 11 days out, it would be filed, so he should be reaching out to his attorney before then asking that information.
I would ask the lawyer for a draft of the memorandum to review. Some lawyers turn it in without any feedback from the defendant. I think that's a mistake. And um,
Yeah,
so, yeah,
we've been told that maybe we should file a grievance. Would you guys advise filing a grievance
it
after
would be
sentencing or
it,
before?
it would be inappropriate for me to even comment on that because I don't know the details or facts of the case. That's a very
Mm-hmm.
delicate topic, so I can't answer other than encouraging you to advocate as best you can to get a copy of the memo, to be vested in the memo, to make sure the narrative and letters are included in the memo. And to the extent that you can get a sense of what the lawyer is going to say at sentencing to justify a shorter sentence, you should. So um, that's what I would encourage you to do. I don't want to get into grievances. I don't know enough to comment.
Okay. And so is that something, because my husband's in right now, that I can ask for him or he needs to call
What
and
I would have your lawyer, excuse me, I'd have your husband advocate for the memo to get a copy of it as quickly as you can. You could follow up as well and ask for a copy of the memo. You'll find some lawyers just don't want to share it. Some do. Some say I don't need or value your input. Others absolutely do. But you should continue to advocate and try.
okay. Thank you.
Clyde Gibson, by the way, Happy New Year. It's good to see you, Clyde. I just wrote chapter 8 of my new book and I referenced you. I presume that's okay because you left a great review. I'll share it with you once I post it. So it's so good to see you on here, Clyde, who got a really great outcome at sentencing. I write about how he did the work without a guarantee that the work would pay off, and it did. So, Clyde, I thought of you a lot over the last week when I was writing about you. Congratulations again on getting a great outcome. It's wonderful.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah, he
right.
did it. He did He did a great job. I'll share the chapter with you, Clyde. In fact, I may post it today. In fact, if anyone has
Sarah,
interest,
I'm going to leave. I'm sorry, Mercy. I'm going to leave this here
if anyone
until
has
that sentence
interest,
to listen.
someone's talking. We need to mute yourselves. If anyone has interest, all the books, of course, we give away are free. And I'm writing a new book called After the Fall in chapter 8, where I talk about Clyde right here. It's going to fill up chapter 8 today. It's going to go up today. So it was really, I enjoyed writing about you and the work that you did. Okay. Let's continue on. Sean, did you want to mention something? I got a text from you that you couldn't raise your hand.
Yeah. So I spoke with my attorney and my probation officer. The probation officer had no clue about the .org, and I showed him my profile, and he was kind of blown away. He said, he's never seen anything like this, and he said that's, for anyone that's building something like that before their sentencing or anything, he said that's very, very, influential. He said, especially with, the judge that I'm working with, he said that's something that the judge is going to be very impressed by as far as you're doing it, holding yourself accountable without being told to. And he said that can sway a judge in a massive way. Because a lot of people wait until they're already told to do something and then they do it. But if you're doing it before the judge appoints you to do it or expects you to do it, he said that can make a massive difference in your sentencing, like you just mentioned.
And I think the right word there is can. It may or may not
Mhm.
have an influence to the degree that you would like. I love that Judge Holcomb commented on Matthew's volunteer work. I love that Clyde Gibson avoided prison because the judge referenced the work that he had did, and the prosecutor said he's not going to reoffend. He's a candidate. Sometimes it pays off beautifully. In some instances, it doesn't get the outcome that we want. I see my friend Arthur Fishman on here. I think Arthur, you avoided prison, didn't you? You didn't go to prison. Didn't you get home confinement?
Yeah, I got home confinement.
Right. So, there are some examples where the work absolutely pays off, but in some instances, the prison terms are too long. But that doesn't mean you don't then try to get out earlier. And I think that's the message through the .org. When you look at prisonprofessors.com, in the work you're never going to see something that says we guarantee you'll get out of prison, we guarantee this will work. It may not work to the degree that you would like, but we know this idea of earning freedom or incentivizing excellence, or as many of you have come to learn, the straight A guide. What are your values and goals? What is your attitude? What action are you taking? How are you holding yourself accountable? Not only do you live a better life, a more meaningful life, we believe it influences people who are going to determine sentencings, clemencies, pardons. Why are you a candidate to be advocated for? That's an important part of the .org. If Michael were showing your profile the next time he speaks in a prison, I think he's getting ready to go to Leavenworth, Lewisburg,
Mm.
Otisville, or Fort Dix. And if he's meeting with a warden or case manager and you're there and he's doing a presentation that's showing profiles, why are you a candidate to be advocated for? It doesn't matter whether why? That is what we want you to begin thinking about. And you can only do that, as Sean said, by doing something you were not asked to do. And, there are a lot of people like me and who did it when there was no mechanism to advance my release date because there was no First Step Act. But that didn't preclude me from building because life on the other side would have been miserable without these assets. And that's a takeaway for all of you. Like, regardless of the sentence, you're coming home, most of you, most likely. And
Hmm.
it's easier if you have a record you can rely on. But there's no doubt it's going to influence people differently. Frank Peters, Happy New Year. If you'd like to lower your hand and then unmute yourself.
Happy New Year. Excuse me. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Sorry for being late. Just
You should be sorry, Frank. This is the most important thing in the world right now. Keep it together, man.
yeah. So I've been I want to personally thank you. I mean, I don't know, we're the same age. Your story has resonated with me when police, FBI came to my house September 1st, 2022. And I am now at the tail end of this journey. I was sentenced last Monday by the Honorable Percy Anderson. I have 33 months now for PPP, wire fraud, and I would not have been able to do any of this without your help and your guidance. And so I wanted to personally thank you, personally thank Michael Santos is, I did not have the resources to actually even pay you guys, but what you guys give for free on the websites, I use all that to my disposal. My attorneys did not help. I also even almost went pro se for a minute, but it's just been horrible with the whole legal aspect, completely with defense attorneys. But you said self advocate, and I did. And I believe I had the best possible outcome that I'm going to have. So I'm
Well,
going to self surrender on February 9th. My question, uh, two questions. It's like Sean, I've been on the site, I've been posting, I've been blogging, I've been thinking, and all that. I know there's been changes. Uh, and so I don't know I mean, I understand what in custody is, but in community, is that means people who have been released, or who is an in custody person versus like,
so
I mean,
so
any person, I guess I should say.
a few things here. On a 33-month sentence, are you pursuing the drug program?
Yes.
Okay, so did your lawyer specifically ask for a prison that offers the drug program?
No, but I did. And so I had to keep speaking over my attorney because
What prison did you get on the record?
they said Lompoc, but now I'm nervous because of the whole Terminal Island situation.
Okay,
So
so let me be clear. I'm going to summarize this really quickly. What day were
yes,
you sentenced?
on Monday, the 29th,
Good
last month.
news. You still have time then in your judgment and commitment order to make some changes, and I'm going to summarize it for you very, very quickly.
Okay,
It's a PPP case. You're an American citizen. No violence or guns associated with your case, correct?
correct.
You should not go to Lompoc because the camp at Lompoc does not offer the drug program. The low does, but you're not going to a low. Terminal Island is also a low. It's closing. So
Right,
what you should immediately do, with or without your lawyer, is ask the court in the judgment and commitment order to no longer recommend Lompoc, but specifically a federal prison camp that offers the drug program. And there's a few of them, including Yankton in South Dakota, Leavenworth in Kansas. But I would do that pretty quickly and get
got it.
a prison on the record that has RDAP because it isn't Lompoc.
Right. And so you're saying because I would be minimum, then they won't bump me up to low then.
You're not going to go to a low security prison. It's a wasted pick.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a wasted pick. So you should ask for a prison that specifically has RDAP. And based
Okay.
the closest one, Sheridan, it's closed right now. The
Mm-hmm.
closest one to you is probably Leavenworth in Kansas or Yankton in South Dakota.
Wow.
Part of the journey. But on a 33-month sentence with good planning, you can get in and get out in 9 months, 10 months, 11 months. That's the goal, which is why you need to go direct to a prison that has RDAP. Montgomery is full. I'm learning that Lewisburg is now full because with prisons closing, like Pensacola not offering the drug program, Sheridan
Mm-hmm.
not offering the drug program, you have prisoners all across the country going to prisons, fewer prisons that offer RDAP. There's a waiting list at Montgomery, lengthy waiting list at Texarkana. We are fortunate to have some in our community just get into Lewisburg, which is a very good place to do RDAP. I've now since heard Lewisburg is going to be totally packed and full because if Montgomery's closed or full and Texarkana's full, they're going to have to go to a place that has it, like
Right.
Lewisburg. So I would pursue Yankton or Leavenworth in Kansas. Both are fine. Both offer the drug program. If I had a choice, I'd pick Yankton, even though you'll freeze your ass off in South
Oh,
Dakota.
I know. Leavenworth's pretty good.
It's a good, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good,
okay.
it's a good,
So basically it's to hurry up and get out to get back to home then because those places don't sound like they're very visit friendly from someone from
they're
LA.
all the same. Don't buy this nonsense visit friendly. They're all the same. My point for you is on a 33-month sentence with the drug program, you want to go direct to a prison that has it because as soon as you complete the program, they should release you to the community.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and by the way, to your Judge uh,
Anderson.
Anderson, when I came home from prison, I used to attend a lot of sentencing hearings. And one time I attended so many of my sentencing hearings of his, he actually stopped and said, why are you here? Like, why is you at so many? All I do is see you here. And I said, Your Honor, I'm just here to learn. And
Hmm.
that's all he said. But he recognized me because I attended so many sentencing hearings. It was very, very funny. But he's a kind judge, older judge. He's got to be much older now.
Yeah, like 70 something.
Yeah, he's born in the 40s. But that was a very good outcome for you, and I'm happy that you have clarity. And with good planning, you should be home in 10 months, 10,
All
11
right.
months.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, bud. I'm happy
Okay.
for you. happy for you.
Hey, Justin and Frank, what were the guidelines? Just curious. What were the guidelines and what would you get sentenced?
The guidelines were 27 to 33 months.
And you got 30, you got the high end?
Yeah, I got the high end. Yes.
Got it.
The value of like with the drug program, which is, so it's important that, so he got it on the record in the PSR and you get the recommendation. That goes a long way because 33 months is, well, actually on a 33 months, you serve less time because of the drug program than if it was 27 months.
That's the killer of the whole. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because between 24 to 30 months with the drug program, you get 6 months, 31 to 36, it's 9 months. So you get 9 months instead of 6. You can get more First Step Act credits with 33, and you get more good time with 33. But then again, with the drug program, it all turns out to be about the same amount of time in custody. I know you had a really unfortunate experience with your lawyer and they were non-responsive, and it's unfortunate some lawyers work against you. Now you want to create that profile as you did, keep writing, and make sure you avoid problems in prison because in some of these prisons, only about half of the people are completing the drug program, like 50%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's my 100% goal. But yeah, I've been on the website. I have like 600 and something points, and then they when they changed it to have the in custody versus in community, I don't show up anymore over there. But
there's a lot of changes coming to the website, and I know Michael's going to be writing and filming about that, and there could be some changes with people who are home versus who were in prison. So as I mentioned a little earlier, perhaps before you got on, Michael's journaling every single day and providing updates on the website. So expect any issues to be remedied, but the website's going through a massive development change. So just be patient. My advice is just continue to write. Just everything you've been doing, continue to do.
I appreciate it. I will.
Hey, if you're gonna go to Lewisburg, you want to go in the next 30 to 45 days. Their next class starts at the beginning of April, end of March, and it takes about 60 days for them to get you registered for the class.
Right. So we have were you just home from Lewisburg?
Yeah, I came home from Lewisburg in September.
Oh, welcome home, bud. We had we've had some people in our community just surrender there yesterday in the last month. And a lot of people have done the drug program there and had really good experiences there compared to even to Cumberland or Montgomery. So, in fact, you should send me a message. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your experience. If you have my email, would you respond?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to. How long was your sentence there?
54 months. I did 17.
Yeah, welcome home. Cool.
Wow.
Thanks.
Really happy to hear that. We have send me a message. I'd like to learn a little bit more about your experience there, okay?
Cool.
Thank you very much. Welcome home. Good for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I will try Lewisburg too then. Thanks.
All right, guys, it's 11:50. Unless we have anything else to cover, I feel good about our first webinar of the year. If you have any other questions, I welcome them. If not, I will get back to work.
I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead. Who is that? Hi, Steve.
This is
just a
Kathy.
reminder, I texted you, so if you could respond.
I will. I have not seen it yet because I've been on this, but I absolutely will. And then anything else?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there some group that I can get involved in at the Coleman prison to deal with some of the goings on there?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know the answer to that. Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay. Is there some group to get involved with just that works with federal prisons? I mean, that I can communicate with, that I can talk to, that I can help them, they can help me, kind of thing, a support group.
I'd like to think this is a support group, but perhaps not to the degree that you're seeking, or need. But I'm always there might be Facebook groups or other advocacy groups that are in a position to help you. Like anything else, do your due diligence. Make sure that people are asking you, to just be very careful as you go through that. But I have no doubt they're out there, and I encourage you to pursue those that best suit your needs.
Mandatory minimums.
Are you aware of MISS, Mothers of Incarcerated Sons?
I'm not, though maybe there could be huge value in it.
Yes, and I'm
I'm
trying
not.
to get in touch with them.
I'd encourage you to do so. Continue with your own advocacy. Prepare as best
Okay.
you can.
Okay, thank you for your help today. And
Oh, you're
also,
very
I
welcome.
want to thank Tayana, who was wonderful speaking with me yesterday.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
She was awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Justin, this is Art.
Hi.
You got me?
Yes.
Whoever's going to Canada, and I did not catch that person's name, have they been approved to go to Canada?
He hasn't been sentenced yet.
Okay, so once he's sentenced and once he's approved, tell him to make sure that he sends everything relative to his case to the Office of Enforcement Operations in the Department of Justice.
So I think Tom is still on the call. He should have heard that. If not, I'll message him and let him know. I appreciate you chiming in and sharing that.
They control the movement on international. Well, they used to.
No, they
So
still
many
do.
things.
They still
Okay,
do in
the
the treaty
Office of
process.
Enforcement Operations is the group that coordinates those transfers. I used to head that a long time ago in the Bureau. So get everything that you can to the Canadian officials.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Hi,
Okay.
Justin. This is Dominique. I just wanted to thank you. I actually go against the judge January 9th, this Friday, to plead guilty against the judge. So I haven't been sentenced yet either, but I just want to thank you with your program because coming in, I'm not the same woman, coming out as far as mitigation and like you said, speaking for yourself and coming up with your own report card because, the prosecutor already has, the charges and everything that they have against you. And now you have to let the judge know and the PO know, who you are as a person. And I really appreciate that because without that advice, I don't really think I would be where I am today. So I really appreciate that because I took your advice and I did everything along step to the way to do my own mitigation and also, advocate for myself.
Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate you saying it, and I admire you for preparing. I did not. I outsourced work and I was lazy. So that you're here and doing the work, I thank you. I admire you, and it's part of the reason we do this work. So I wish you well. Keep us apprised of your progress, and I very much appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. I definitely will keep you up to date.
Thank you. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap. So I'll have this replay up tomorrow. And then I look forward to seeing all of you next week. I'm working on a couple of cool interviews with some subject matter experts that I think will be valuable for our community. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing all of you next Tuesday. Dr. Scott, try to line up that call with your federal public defender, okay? Okay. All right. Good to see everyone. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.